I'm here at his ranch today to talk about horsemen, specifically 4 horsemen. Now, why horsemen when most of my videos have all been about marriage and family relationships? Well, you see, the doctors John and Julia Gottman, researchers who've studied marriage for over 40 years, tell us that when these 4 horsemen show up in a relationship as part of conflict, trouble's following. They actually call them the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And according to their research, they are the best predictors of divorce around. Looks like they're coming now. Hey, I was just talking about you 4. Would you mind introducing yourself? How about you?
I'm Callie. Callie Criticism.
And you?
I'm Contemptuous Caroline. I mean, that's not really my name, but everyone calls me that. Those idiotic blame brain.
Okay, what about the 3rd horseman?
Hi, I'm Dan.
Just Dan?
Well, no, but I mean, what's wrong with Dan? I'm always the one everybody picks on. Well, what if I didn't like your name? It's not my fault my parents named me Dan.
I wasn't attacking you, I just wanted to hear your last name.
Yes, but...
Just your last name, Dan.
Defensiveness. Dan Defensiveness.
Alright, on to our last horseman. And what's your name? Hello? Are you just gonna talk to me?
Stan the Stonewaller.
Y'all call this an interview? You clearly don't know what you're doing. Loser.
It's not your fault you can't do an interview.
I'm out of here, man.
Everyone tells me that I criticize a lot, but with so many people and their bad ideas, I can't help it. And they say I tend to state my complaints as if it's a defect on their personality, but they're just being sensitive.
If we realize we tend to be critical, what can we do?
It works best if we talk about our feelings using I statements and without blaming, and that way we can express a positive need. So instead of using phrases like, "You're so selfish with your time," instead I could say something like, "You know, I really feel left out when we make plans for the weekend. Would you please let me have a little bit more input on what we do?"
Okay, there you have criticism. Thanks for talking with me.
Yeah, this took way too much time. You're a terrible interviewer.
I see myself as a victim, so I'm always trying to ward off attacks. I'd rather place the blame on someone else than take responsibility for my own actions. People also tell me that I'm very good at making excuses and cross-complaining.
What is cross-complaining?
That's when someone complains about me and I come back with a complaint of my own. I'm also told I'm good at not listening to others, and I tend to say things like, "It's not my fault," and "if you would have." The best way for us to deal with our own defensiveness is to accept at least some of the responsibility instead of lashing out at our partner. It's very rare that one person is really 100% to blame in a conflict.
So, there was a quick discussion on defensiveness. Thanks for talking to me, Dan.
It's not my fault that the interview was so short. I mean, you could have asked better questions, and don't even get me started on the kinds of questions you asked.
Mostly, I just withdraw from conflict. I shut down and close myself off. I'll cross my arms and look away and avoid eye contact. I might even just get up and walk away from the person who I'm talking to. Gottman research shows that men stonewall a lot more than women do. The research also shows that it's very upsetting to women when men do this.
What's the best way to deal with our tendency to stonewall?
You know, I have to understand that I've got to stay in the discussion. So it'd be a good idea to talk with my spouse about my tendency to stonewall at a time when we're not in conflict. Then if I feel myself wanting to pull away or shut down, I'll need to tell my partner. That way they'll understand it if I need to calm down or take a few deep breaths or ask for a brief time out.
Thanks for talking about stonewalling today.
Yeah, I know. I'm the most dangerous of the horsemen. Usually, if I'm around, divorce and separation are soon to follow. I always try to communicate my superiority
to other people. It's an I'm better than you attitude. I'll be insulting, mocking, or humiliating with my words. But I can use facial expressions too, you know, the eye roll, the curl of the upper lip. I'll call the other person names or use a tone of voice that lets them know I don't like or respect them.
What can we do to avoid communicating contempt?
To quote Tom Mater, to not to. First of all, we need to be aware of how we act. Sometimes contempt can slip in and we didn't even notice. If we see that we're communicating contempt, we need to replace it with love and respect. We're not better than our spouse, and when we communicate contempt, we're destroying our marriage.
There you have it, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Most couples will see one of them or more occasionally, but to keep them away, we'll need to be aware of what they are and how to fight them.